A major breakthrough has finally been achieved in the long-standing TikTok saga between the United States and China, signaling a potential end to years of tension and uncertainty. But here's where it gets controversial. The deal, announced by the Trump administration, raises questions about national security, political strategy, and the future of global tech influence. Officials from the Trump administration revealed on Monday that an agreement has been reached with China to allow TikTok to continue operating within the United States. This development marks the conclusion of a protracted negotiation process that began during President Donald Trump's first term in office. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed that a framework for the deal is now in place, and President Trump is scheduled to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday to finalize the arrangement. Speaking from Madrid, Bessent emphasized Trump's pivotal role in the negotiations, stating, "President Trump played a role in this. We had a call with him last night. We had specific guidance from him. We shared it with our Chinese counterparts. Without his leadership and the leverage he provides, we would not have been able to include the deal today." This week, Chinese and American diplomats have been convening in Spain to discuss a range of issues, including trade and technology. Bessent, who is leading the U.S. delegation, highlighted TikTok as a key topic on the agenda. "We were very focused on TikTok and making sure that it was a deal that is fair for the Chinese and completely respects U.S. national security concerns. And that's the deal we reached," he explained. "Of course, we want to ensure that the Chinese have a fair, invested environment in the United States, but always that U.S. national security comes first." The TikTok controversy has been a roller coaster. Trump repeatedly extended his own deadlines for China to sell at least a portion of TikTok's U.S. operations to an American-backed entity. This was in response to a bipartisan bill passed by Congress and signed into law by President Joe Biden, which effectively bans TikTok in the U.S. unless its Chinese parent company divests its American assets. TikTok briefly disappeared from U.S. app stores on January 18th, the day before the Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act took effect. However, on January 19th, just one day before Trump's second term began, he announced plans to sign an executive order that would protect U.S. companies from penalties for hosting TikTok on their platforms. This executive order, signed on January 20th, delayed enforcement of the ban by 75 days. Trump later extended this deadline in June, and most recently pushed it to September 17th. Many expected him to continue delaying the deadline if no deal was reached. The law grants the president broad authority over how to implement the ban, but critics argue that Trump's repeated extensions undermined Congress's intent. Initially, Trump had pushed for a complete ban on TikTok, a stance he never fully realized legislatively, but which Biden later adopted and signed into law. Interestingly, Trump's position shifted over time, especially after he recognized TikTok's role in mobilizing young voters who supported him in the 2024 election. On Monday, Trump hinted that a resolution was imminent. Posting on Truth Social, he wrote, "The big trade meeting in Europe between the United States of America and China has gone very well. It will be concluding shortly. A deal was also reached on a certain company that young people in our country very much wanted to save. They will be very happy. I will be speaking to President Xi on Friday." This announcement leaves many wondering, does this deal truly balance national security with economic interests? Or is it a political maneuver cloaked in diplomacy? And what does this mean for the future of U.S.-China relations and the global tech landscape? We invite you to share your thoughts and join the conversation below. This story is still unfolding and will be updated as more information becomes available.